Four lines up in the narrow lines. Masa Duma Alai. The Baruch Shalom said the Nevuah of Duma is on me. Kaireya Meseir, they call from Seir. Shaimer, they call for watchman. Ma Malayla, what's with the night? Shaimer Ma Malayla, what's with the night? What does that mean? The name of the Malach who's in charge of the Ruchos, who's in charge of the Ruchos, is the ghost. His name is Duma. His kavtzu kol ruchos eitzel Duma. So all the other ghosts came to the head ghost, Amuloi Shomer Mamalila, Shomer Mamalil, which Rashi says it means when's Mashiach going to come? So Rashi says Shomer Mamalil, Ma Dava Michaya Ketzagula Milel Zeh, when is it going to be over? Amr Shomer, to which the response was Amr Shomer Asa Boike V'Gam Loilo. Said it's not coming so fast. First there's going to be a day, then there's going to be a night. That means that it's first going to be a long gullus before we're going to get to the gula. In Tevayim Bayu, if you're going to ask for it, it will come Shuvu Esyai. Then when you do tshuva, then that will bring the Asad Lave, the Mashiach. Ton Mishum Rabbi Papayas, Ganoi Havelechizkiya Siyata. There was a Ganai on Chizkiya. Chizkiya, let's get the story over here. Was that Chizkiya was the Melech in Yehuda. He was the Melech of David, and Sanhedrin had already conquered the other Melech, the other Malachim, who was a Rasha. But Chizkiya was a tzaddik, and he came to fight against him. And we had that whole story that he sent a messenger. We had this a couple of months ago. So, but they ended up losing. The Sanhedrin ended up losing to Chizkiya. He wasn't able to breach Yerushalayim. So it's a Gnai to Chizkiya and Siyata in his camp. We had the story earlier on the Amid that there was a tain on Chizkiya that he should have said Shira, and instead the land said Shira. Shenema miknaf aretz zemira shamanu tzvila tzaddik. From the edge of the earth, I heard the songs that tzvila tzaddik, the command of the tzaddik. That Yisro said after Yitzias Mitzrayim, he said Baruch Hashem Asher Hitzel Eschem. He said a Shira. That also was the same time that why did Yisro have to be the first one to praise? That really the Yidden should have done so earlier. Even though Yisro was after Shira Sayam, so I'm not exactly sure. Maybe there's a Shira for the Yam and not a Shira for the Yitzias Mitzrayim. Tana Mishum Rabbi Papayis, Gnaihu L'Moshe, V'Shishim Ribuya Shali Amu Baruch Ad Sheba Yisro V'Amu Baruch Hashem. Yisro was the first one to say Baruch Hashem. Is there a Rashi on this? I don't know. I don't see in Rashi. Zaktamar, Vayichad Yisrei. What does it mean, Vayichad Yisrei? Rav Shmuel, Rav Amar Shehever Charav Chadar Al B'Sarei. It means that he gave himself a milah. He was Megayer himself. Shmuel Amar Shenasa Chadudim Kol B'Sarei. That he got goosebumps. He got his hair stood on end. He was mitzdayer on what happened to Mitzrayim. He was a guy himself at one point, so he was bothered by it. Amarav, Hainu Amar Inshi Giurad Asara Dori Letivza Aramoy Kame. Ger, for the first 10 generations, you can't say anything negative about Goyim in front of him because he'll take it personally. L'chein Yishalach Ha'adon Hashem Tzavakos V'mashmanav Rozin. Therefore, the Baruch Shalom sends with his fat to the deprivation. My mishman of Razan, what does that mean? Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu, Yavai Chizkiyo, Sheyesh lo Shmoyne Shemes. He has 8 names. That's what mishmanav. V'yifra mitzanchérev Sheyesh lo Shmoyne Shemes. And he'll conquer, he'll beat Sancherev, who also has 8 names. So it'll be a Razan of the Shmoyne to the Shmoyne. Chizkiya, where does we see that he has 8 names? Ki yeled yulud loy lanu ben nitan lanu. A son was born to us. Vatihi hamishra al shechmai and he was going to be he's going to get the sign of Malchus on his shoulder, V'yikru Shmoi, and what will be his name? Pele Yoetz, an unbelievable wise person who gives good eitzes. Kel Gibar, Kel is a lord, Gibar strong, Aviad, a father that will last forever. Sar Shalom, an officer of peace. Zakt the Gemara, Va'ika Chizkiah. One says that was 8 names, but there's also his actual name, which was Chizkiah. So Gemara, no, his name wasn't really Chizkiah. Shechasku Ka. He was called Chizkiah because he was mechazik in Hashem. He was a tzaddik, and he strengthened Hashem. Davar acher Chizkiah shechizik es Yisrael avim shebeshamayim. It's not Ka, but he was called Shem because he mechazik the Yidden to the Rebbeinu Shalom. Sanhedrin, where did we see that Sanhedrin had 8 names? Dechsiv Bey, Tiglas, Palasar. These are just names. Palanasar, Shalmanasar, Pul, Sargon, Asamper. Asamper Rabba V'Yakira. The last name was Ansaper, great and precious. In fact, the Gemara, so that's 8 names. Va'ika Sanhedrin. What about his actual name, Sanhedrin? No, that also wasn't the name. Shechosoi Riv, that he spoke in his talk was argumentative. Rashi says what that means. Rashi, klapim. No, it does. The Gemara says davar acha shesach v'nicha dvarim klapim maila. Either that he was an argumentative, he argued with the Rebbeinu Shalom, or else that he talked and he fulminated against the Rebbeinu Shalom. So why did he get this name of great and precious? In spite of all his faults, he didn't talk badly about Eretz Yisrael. He was trying to convince the Yidden of Yerushalayim to surrender. He said, "I'll take you to even a land that's as good as Eretz Yisrael." He didn't say his land is better than Eretz Yisrael. One says he was smart, one says he was a fool. If he would have said that I'm going to take you to a better place, they would have known he was lying. If he would have said I'm going to take you out of Gaza and I'm going to bring you into the Sinai desert, they would have said, we know this is not going to work out well for us. If you say it's the same, how is that going to convince people to leave? If you're just saying, why should you move to something that's equal? This is talking about in the end, the 10 Shvatim did leave, and they did give in, and they left. So where did they go? Marzutra Amal Afriki. He said they went to Africa. Rav Chanina Amal Hari Slug. They went to Hari Slug. I think this is like been a hobby of historians or people who try to read things to figure out where the Aseres HaShvatim went. Those that say they went to Ethiopia, they say that's when it's sent to Africa. It's talking about Ethiopia. Av Yisrael, that was a mile of Sanhedrin, but Yisrael, meaning the Bnei Yisrael, not the Bnei Yehuda, Sifru B'Gnusha Shel Eretz Yisrael. They spoke badly about Eretz Yisrael. Kimatu Shoish, when they came to Shoish Amri Shavia Ki Aaron. When they arrived at Shoish, they said, this is like our own land. Kimatu Alman Amru Ka'alman. It's like the place where we lived. Kimatu Shoish Trei Amri Al Chad Trin. They said this is twice as good as Eretz Yisrael. That's probably those are the names were given because of the way the Bnei Yisrael described it. Betachas kvoidei yikoid ki yikoid eish, and underneath the covered, they're going to burn a fire like a burning fire. Amar Rabbi Yochanan tachas kvoidei v'lo kvoidei mamish. This is talking about the soldiers of Sanhedrin that they all died, and that's when he turned around. So it says that they got burnt up with a fire. Rabbi Yochanan says tachas kvoidei means v'lo kvoidei mamish, means not that they themselves got not like, well, we'll see in contrast to the next shot. He he calls clothing covered. So he said they got burnt underneath their clothing. Their clothing didn't burn, but their whole body's burnt. It was underneath the koide, meaning underneath their skin. Just like the Bnei Aaron, that they died with a fire that entered through their nostrils and burnt them up from the inside. Malan trefas neshama of a guf kayim. Just like we have seen this also, that the neshama burnt up, but the body stayed. Avkan trefas neshama of a guf kayim. They just woke up dead in the morning, but there wasn't any damage to their bodies. Punishment of Yehuda ben Karcha. Parish Shechiruf ba'atzroi, Shechiruf ba'atzroi, Nifra HaKadosh Baruch Hu mimenu ba'atzmai. Parai, who defied the Rebbeinu Shalom, as the Gemara is going to show, and he said it himself. The Rebbeinu Shalom came and paid him directly. Sanhedrin, Shechir Val Yidei Shliach, that he used the Shliach to blaspheme. Nifra HaKadosh Baruch Hu mimenu Yidei Shliach. He also, there was a Shliach, that was the Shliach that he sent to send to the city to give his message. So the Rebbeinu Shalom also did not himself carry out the punishment. Pari said, "Who is that? We said to Moshe, who is this God that you're telling me is going to punish me, that I should listen to him?" So the Rebbeinu Shalom turned them around. He made them drown in the Yam. The Rebbeinu Shalom himself drowned their horses in the Yam. That he said through his shluchim to be machar of Hashem. That he sent the Rebbeinu Shalom sent a malach and he killed 185,000 of his soldiers. Papa Rami, Ksiv Maram Kitzai, Uksiv Malan Kitzai. These are two psukim that are identical. If you look on the side, it says Biyad Malachecha Cherpas. This is a continue of the last pasuk. Hashem V'Taimer. He was blaspheming against Hashem. V'Taimer B'Roi Richvi Ani Alisa Moraim Harim, with my chariots. I'm going to go onto the top of the mountains. Yarkasi Levonon Ve'Echrois Kaimas Arozov. I'm going to cut down the height of their cedars. Baroishav, the chosen of their soldiers. Vavaya Molon Kitzas Yar Carmilai. I'm going to come to the Molon, one of them says Molon, to the abode and destroy it. And the other pasuk says Vavay Marim Kitza Yar Carmilai. It doesn't say Molon, it says Marim Kitza, to the edge, or to the edge, to the furthest away place where the Rebbeinu Shalom resides. So Zakdamara Amar. So why is it two different lashonos? Amar Oisei Rasha Betchila Achrev Dirish Al Mata. When he said Marim Kitz Malayin Kitz, I think that means that's the Beis Hamikdash where the Rebbeinu Shalom comes to visit. And Sanhedrin's intention was then afterwards he'll go up to Shemayim and fight the Rebbeinu Shalom over there. He said that Sanhedrin said that he said that you think I'm coming here without Hashem? Hashem Amar Elai Alei El Haaretz Hazayis V'Ashchisa. The Rebbeinu Shalom commanded me to come and destroy it. Mahi, what does it mean? The Shemel and Navi. Where did he hear that the Rebbeinu Shalom told him to destroy the Bnei Yisrael? The Shemel and Navi. He heard the Navi, the Kamer. Yan ki mos amazes esmea shiluach ha'holchem la'at. That this nation was rejected the waters of the Shiluach that go softly, which is Chizkiah, who is a melech, who is a proper melech. Umasa says Ratzenu ben Ramlio, and instead they went to the fast waters that's between Sois and ben Ramlio. What does that mean? Amar Rabbi Yosef Amoli Tugam Ha'ikrole Haviyadana Maika Amar. Without a targum, this pasuk would be hard to understand. We wouldn't know what this means. So he said, "Cholaf the kotz amo hadin b'malchusa the beis David." So he translates it. And then so I was translating it a little bit as I was reading it, because this the Ron Shalom said, because this the Navi said, this is cuts. It's not happy with the Malchus based David, the Medaber Lohaim Benayich, that speaks to them softly, Kami Shilucha, like the Mayim of the Shiluach, the Nagda Benayich that goes softly, Visrayu Barotzenu Bar Maila, and instead they go with the stormy waters of the Melech Yisrael, the other Melech, who was much more fiery and much more difficult, but he was not. He was not Shemer. He was at Russia, and they shouldn't have followed him. Amr of Yechanan, Ma'idach Siv Ma'aras Hashem beBeis Russia. The Ma'ara, the Klala of Hashem, is in the house of the Rasha, Unevei Tzadikim Yavarach, but the house of the Tzadikim, that will be benched. Ma'aras Hashem beBeis Rasha, Zeh Pikech ben Ramalyo. This is the Pikech ben Ramalyo. That's who we were referring to in the previous pasuk, that we called him Ramal. Was the pasuk again? Baratunu bar Ramlayu. That this is Pakach ben Ramlayu. He would eat 40 young birds as dessert for a Suda. He was very health conscious. He only ate one small amount of vegetables for his old Suda. Hashem brought upon them the stormy waters of the king of Ashur, which is Sanhedrin. And it reached into Yehuda, and it came up till their necks. Ella my time Yanish. Dr. Gemara, if Sanhedrin was if there was a Navi that said that Sanhedrin was going to come and destroy it, it says so why was he punished for following the Nevuah? The Nevuah was about the Aseres Hashvatim, that, like we said, they followed a king who was a Russia. But Sanhedrin attacked Yushalayim. It says there is no muaf to the one who attacks them. The muaf is a lashon of oyef, of being tired. If will tire the Bnei Yushalayim, Bnei Yehuda, that engaged in Torah study, and they tired themselves out from Torah, they would not be given into the hand of Sanhedrin. My Ka'es Harishon Hekal Arza Zvulun va'Arza Naftali va'achron Hichved Derech Hayam. At the beginning, it says that he was mekel, he was not so hard on Eretz Zvulun and Eretz Naftali, and afterwards he was machmed, he was strict on Derech Hayam, on the those who live by the Yam. Ever Yarden Glil Hagoyim, which is Ever Yarden, near the Yarden, I guess on the near the Dead Sea, Glil Hagoyim, which is the embarrassment of the Goyim. Not like the first group, the Eretz Zvulun and the Eretz Naftali, that were not engaged in learning. They're right to have a nace like those who crossed the Yam, like the Bnei Yisrael by the Yam, and those that came into Yisrael. If they can do tshuva, they'll be good. I'm going to make them the target of the goyim. If Sanhedrin will do tshuva and not attack the Yushalayim, then I'll let him go. I won't destroy him. Okay, I think we'll stop over here. I think that's enough of psukim for a night. Shkayach.